I mean, for many years, you and Brian were regarded as the top two players in the sport. You must be very proud to have been held in such high esteem now.
Well, yeah, it's nice to think that, but I must go back to probably to my childhood really to thank a lot of people for that. I mean, none of them are still with us, unfortunately, but we had the Red Lion in Withington. Apart from my father, some of the best bowlers at the time. Obviously, people didn't travel about quite the same in those days, but the Red Lion bowling team once took on the might of the Lancashire away team, who used to win the Crossfield Cup for fun virtually every year, and they actually beat them on the Red Lion. The Red Lion team beat the away team of Lancashire. I mean, quite a few people wouldn't remember these names now, but there was all the St Helens crowd. I mean, St Helens was a hotbed of bowling in those days. Bill Carter, Bob G, Frankie Waterworth, Bob Sefton. All these came and played against the Red Lion, and they lost to the Red Lion. So that just shows you the calibre of the people I was brought up with, you know, from age about 4. And these guys, they used to go and play in forehands in an afternoon, but if there was a spare one that turned up, they'd play with me for a couple of hours, and you know, I learned an awful lot. So by the time I was about 15, I was beating them, and well, the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, to play with players of that calibre, you can only learn, can't you, and improve now.
Well, that's it. I mean, when I started playing flat green, indoor flat green, I was fortunate enough to get hold of Gordon Niven, who's been flat green bowler for many years now, and he took me under his wing and showed me the ropes. But I was sort of thrown in at the deep end with all the top boys in a televised competition. Gordon had taught me as much as he possibly could, obviously, but to go in with the big boys straight away was. I went to this competition thinking that I'm a crown green bowler. I don't want to make a fool of myself, and I didn't go there thinking I could teach them how to play bowls, because flat green bowling they've been playing, and their forefathers etc. have been playing that game their way for God knows how many years. So who am I to go and try and change it? So I tried to learn the way they played their game. And it paid dividends, because obviously I learned, and culminated a few years later with winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we'll be coming to your flat green career shortly now. I know you've played Brian Duncan, you've had many battles with him over the years. You played him in the semi-final of the Freddie Hume competition recently, didn't you?
No, quarter-final, I think.
Quarter, was it? Yeah. This time you came out on top, didn't you?
I came out on top this time, yeah. I think it was my turn.
Yeah.
Funny, I've not actually played Brian for quite some years. In fact, I can't remember the last time we played, but I don't think he's playing quite as much as he used to.
No, he's not playing quite as much, but he's still a force to be reckoned with, isn't he, Brian?
Oh, certainly, yeah. I mean, I just it's a bit of a purple patch for 3.5 games till about halfway through the final. I think I lost my concentration a bit.
Yeah. What do you think of the modern day players, Noel? Is there any who stand out for you? You think can sort of go on and emulate the sort of success you and Brian have had?
Yeah, well, I would say the top 3 at the moment are obviously Graham Wilson, Lee Lawton, and Gary Ellis.
Yeah.
They seem to win a good few tournaments each year.
Yeah.
But there's a youngish fellow from Doncaster, and for the life of me I can't just think of his name. But he beat Graham Wilson in that Bridlington competition on Friday. Then went off to Keighley to a final night and won that. And he beat me in the 4th round of the Waterloo last year as well, 21-7. And he's a damn good little player, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have to keep our eye out for him then, Noel, whoever he may be.
I'll tell you what, somebody I was really impressed with. This young lad that's played at in Shrewsbury at Mill Brace this year.
Dan Ferris.
Sorry?
Dan Ferris.
That's the one, yeah. I think he's only about 14 or 15.
Yeah.
But I actually went to his dad afterwards and I said, that was a pleasure playing him, even though I won fairly comfortably. He didn't have a lot of luck during the game either, but what a nice young man he is. When if I played a good ball, he'd say well played, and there was no throwing the mat about and all this sort of thing, and shook hands at the end, and he said well played, best of luck, and just a credit to his family.
Yeah, I mean and
I sincerely hope he keeps playing the game, because he's a good player, that's for sure.
I played him recently in a competition myself, and he beat me 31-18 now about a month ago, and he played tremendously. And also last week he won his first Open tournament. You probably wouldn't have heard of that, but the tournament at Milton in Stoke, I think the first prize was £200 or £300, and he actually won that Open tournament. I know he beat some very good players. He beat in the last 4 games 4 current Potteries County players, including the likes of Barry Booth, to win that. And he is a tremendous prospect. I mean, Lynn's here with me. I think you want to comment about Dan as well, don't you?
Yeah, just to echo what you said, Noel. Really, I played Dan last year in the League Open and had a real tough game with him and just come out on top. And I found his attitude for a young lad of his age absolutely impeccable. And like you, I went to his mum and dad afterwards and actually said what a credit he was to his parents and his family, because he was absolutely superb on the green, and his attitude is what we need to see in young players today.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, somebody with this sort of attitude is more likely to be successful, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I echo sort of your sentiments entirely. For a young lad of 14, and he was actually superb, and it was. I was very proud to actually have played against him and experienced him, and I think he is, if he keeps that up, he's a real star for the future.
Oh.
Yeah. Noel, I think the guy you're on about from Yorkshire, was it Dave Fisher?
Dave Fisher, that's it, yeah.
That's the one, yeah. I saw him last week in the Betfred tournament, and as you say, he looks quite a good prospect. And also his brother Scott, I think they're both in the Yorkshire squad at the moment. And as you say, they look good prospects. Just going on to the game itself, do you think the game's suffered in recent years? There seems to be less sponsorship about and media coverage.
Well, I think when the Bass Masters finished, I think that affected things quite dramatically, because all the top players used to try and get in all the competitions that were qualifiers for the Bass Masters. Obviously those competitions now, I think probably some of them have even fallen by the wayside, because they can't advertise that the winner will go in the Bass Masters, a televised competition, so therefore the sponsors won't be quite as interested, and it's just become a downward spiral as regards that's concerned. But I do admire all the people that are trying to keep competitions going and even to start new ones, which is, I was really pleased to see how many top class players were at this new one in Bridlington this weekend. I mean, it was a credit to Jimmy Parker, who's the main organiser, along with Janice Gower, and I wish them every success with it.
Yeah, I've had some good reports on that myself. I don't know if you know that Lee Lawton won it today, no?
He did he?
Yes.
Very good. Well, he is one of the top players. Having said that, though, he was winning 20-10 in his first round against Dave Clarkson from I think Lancaster. And Dave led the jack at 20 all and played one only about 2 feet off, and Lee just beat it by about an inch. So he won his first round 21-20.
Well,
it's amazing how often that happens. You can just struggle through one game and then just sail through the rest of it.